The adult spine, also known as the spinal column or vertebral column, is made up of 26 bones called vertebrae. In infants, this number is actually 33, but 9 of them fuse into 2, which makes 26. When we look at the spine from the side, we can see 4 distinct curves, and we partition the spine according to these curves. Going from the neck downwards, the first part of the spine is called the cervical curvature. It's made of 7 vertebrae. They're named C1 to C7, which actually makes a lot of sense. You don't always see that in anatomy. Interestingly, we all have the same number of cervical vertebrae, but variations can exist in other sections of the spine. The next part is the thoracic curvature, composed of 12 vertebrae named T1 to T12. Then it's the lumbar curvature, made of 5 vertebrae named L1 to L5. After comes the sacral curvature and coccyx, which are made of 5 and 4 fused vertebrae, respectively. The spine can't stay upright by itself. It needs the help of supporting ligaments. The 2 main supporting ligaments are called the anterior and posterior longitudinal ligaments, running down the front and back of the spine respectively. The anterior longitudinal ligament keeps us from hyperextending our spine, that is, bending our spine too far back. Conversely, the posterior longitudinal ligament keeps us from hyperflexing our spine, that is, bending our spine too far forward. We can find intervertebral discs between our vertebrae. They're like pads absorbing the shocks generated while walking, jumping, and running. They're made of 2 parts, the nucleus pulposus and the annulus fibrosus. The nucleus pulposus gives the disc its compressibility and elasticity, while the annulus fibrosus keeps the nucleus pulposus from compressing and stretching too much. It also holds adjacent vertebrae together and counteracts twisting and tension forces. By the way, a herniated disc, also known as a prolapsed disc or slipped disc, happens when the annulus fibrosus is broken due to trauma and the nucleus pulposus juts out, compressing the spine and spinal nerves, which can lead to numbness and pain. Together, the intervertebral discs make up 25% of the height of the spine. They shorten by a few millimeters throughout the day, so we're always tallest when we wake up in the morning. To wrap this video up, let's switch gears and talk briefly about some atypical spinal curvatures. Scoliosis happens when there's a lateral curve to the spine. This often occurs in the thoracic region. Kyphosis, also known as hunchback, happens when the thoracic curvature is exaggerated. Lordosis, also known as swayback, is when the lumbar curvature is exaggerated. And that about does it for the spine.